this time I'm gonna do it. This is finally the time that I play what is undoubtedly the worst official Strange type game ever made. And I'm confident making that claim since I've tried to cover this game so many times, and this is it. This time I'm really gonna do it. Now, while I am going in with a closed mind, I am going to talk about this the same way I talk about every other Strange type game. So I'm going to tell you the story, the characters, the music, the protagonists, the love interests, the setting, and maybe more, I don't know. I won't delay the inevitable any longer. I'm dreading this more than you could possibly ever know. So let's just get through this nightmare, and maybe I'll still be alive to tell you why Tell Me Why is a dumpster fire of a game. This game has 3 episodes, and I don't care enough to give this trash the honor of uniquely named episode titles. So this game starts in 2005 with a little child in a police station. He's getting interrogated about what happened that night, and he's all in on the "my mom tried to kill me, so I killed her" defense. And we get a title card. I can't even get excited about the title card. That's how miserable I am right now. Anyways, we flash forward to 2015, and we're getting introed to the dipshit Wonder Twins, Tyler and Allison, as some incredibly forgettable music plays in the background, and we finally land in control of Allison. We're at home, and it turns out I had the brightness up way too high, which is why I almost said that the game looked unfinished visually, but that's on me, my bad. We're looking for the keys to the old house before we drive off to the group home to retrieve Tyler and finally tackle the past. I take the time to explore Allison's apartment because any time I don't have to spend with Tyler is a good time. I can only delay the inevitable for so long though, so let's get the shit show started. Woo! We go through the door and now we're with Tyler, and if you're playing the game yourself, you don't have a reason to hate Tyler yet. But you will. Oh, trust me, you will. It's because he's a condescending asshole who is incredibly annoying. Anyways, Allison shows up and the twins see each other for the first time in 10 years. And I'm sorry to editorialize right now, but Life is Strange True Colors did this exact same opening and did it exponentially better. Anyway, they talk and we get to make the first player choice of the game. What are we gonna miss about this place? Since not a damn thing isn't an option, I choose to say the people, and we get a well-executed enough thing about how they made Tyler feel safe enough to be out of the closet as a trans man, which is the last time I'm going to mention this fact because I'm going to consistently call him Tyler even in reference to him in the past, because yes, dear viewer, this shit has multiple segments set in the past. We get the siblings driving to the ferry to reach their old home, and Tyler is going all in on the environmentalist talk, and I don't buy that Tyler's the kind of guy who wants to be a park ranger, unlike my glorious king Ryan from Life is Strange True Colors. Anyhows, these two talk a little about how they're feeling about finally going home, and all of that shit that none of us care about. Except for Allison dropping something about East Jesus Nowhere, which activated a single neuron in my brain because that's a Green Day reference to the song 21st Century Breakdown. Or to the song from 21st Century Breakdown. Holy shit, am I having a fucking 21st Century Breakdown already? That's not for me to tell yet. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about that album for now. Things happen, and I wish I was playing literally any other game as the two argue over some fucking nonsense about Allison's adopted dad and why they didn't see each other for 7 years or something. And Tyler's freaking out about a gift from said adopted dad. And I'm going to do the thing I try to do when I play as Chloe in Before the Storm, which is make them a good person and minimize how much of a total fucking asshole they are. Anyways, Allison's got to make a phone call home, which means we're still stuck with Tyler. God damn it! Anyways, I talked to this random-ass guy about stuff to kill time, and I think this game really served as an inspiration on what not to do for Lost Records. Anyway, confuse the old guy by introducing the concept of trans people to him, then talk a bit more with Allie, and then get in the car to skip forward in time and get off the ferry and out home. We pull up to the house, and I'm baffled by Tyler, who all of a sudden really cares about this old house, talks about the adventures they used to have, and how everywhere he looks he remembers an adventure. And holy shit, Dix Batman, I don't care. And we're still playing Tyler! Somebody please tell me why I'm stuck with this character. I can't live in these conditions. This being Alaska means that the doors are frozen shut and we're gonna have to find a way in, and we get the reveal of the twins' stupid, awful nickname of the Crafty Goblins. So, move on. Examine the house's multiple entrances, and we're gonna go underneath the house as soon as we get a screwdriver from the shed. As we look into the shed, we uncover this game's special power, visually remembering shit. It's kind of like peeking into the past with visual indicators, and we also have a special shared voice in our heads, and I know it's twin telepathy shit, but like, who cares? We follow the ghosts of dipshits past, find a key to the shed, get a screwdriver, and get under the house. Tyler scares Allison, then goes under the house, and I swear you did more playing as Allison in this segment, but fuck it, who cares? Nobody cares. Get more twin telepathy shit, find the hatch, and
check it out, I'm in the house like carpet.
In this house, we see all the old shit exactly as it was when we left here, I don't fucking know, like 15 years ago. Get the door open, and after a cutscene, we're still playing as fucking Tyler! Explore the house, Allison tries to engage Tyler in his interests, and then he's a dick about it. We reminisce over other things, and it's so painful how blatant the dialogue choices are to be an asshole or be a normal person. We remember transphobic memories, and God, this is such a slog. Go upstairs, and we're in our childhood bedroom, and I simply don't care in spite of all the details I should care about. There is, however, one stupid line I have to comment on directly, which is about how Tyler should get into the HBO backlog. So that means Tyler hasn't experienced the wonders of The Sopranos and Gabagool. And most importantly, Tyler doesn't know what compromising is.
Want compromise? How's this? I jacked off in a tissue. 20 years in the can. I jacked off in a tissue. I wanted Monagot. I compromised. I jacked off in a tissue. I wanted a fuck tissue, but I compromised. I jacked off in a tissue. 20 years, I jacked off in a tissue in the can, but I compromised. I jacked off in a tissue.
Tyler finds the Book of Goblins, the twins' childhood storybook project, and we're on the mad hunt for his old diary. We remember the day Mom found the diary, Mom's being transphobic, and I get it already! Then the game decides to spell it out even more blatantly! However, we get allusions to what happened and why we opened the game with Tyler in the opening of the game. Tyler is tunnel visioned on finding the diary, Allison asks him if they have to find it right now, and Tyler is an absolute word that starts with C and rhymes with bunt about it, and Allison capitulates to Tyler's maddening demands. We go to the door to Marianne's room, Marianne being Mom, and we've got a door puzzle. And it's really easy to solve. Like, I did it way too easily, and after the stupid cutscene, we get to explore the room, find the diary, and uncover Mom must have had some kind of major personality and mood disorders, because she did actually have books on how to raise a trans kid. And now Tyler is having a crisis over this, since this contradicts his memories. And honestly, given how much I dislike Tyler, I'm inclined to believe he's just mentally ill and he's remembering what he wants to remember to justify him murdering Mom in cold blood. But that's just a baseless theory. We cut back to the past and we see the young Allison cutting Tyler's hair, and by God, it's a total hatchet job, and we get a really supportive scene of the kids talking about Tyler being Tyler going downstairs, out to the shed, and uncovering Mom with a shotgun during a mental breakdown, and I'm gonna call it and say that this is Mom having a manic episode, because the game is clearly implying Mom has some variation of BPD. Anyway, in the present, Tyler is still being an angry bastard, and good God, I just want to be done with this shit. Yet, for some reason, Tyler, in spite of not wanting to have his worldview altered any more than he already has, is all in on uncovering the past. The twins bitch and argue over how Tyler shut Allison out, and once again, every fucking choice is just agree with twin or be a dickhead. There is no wiggle room here. Also, the game loops dialogue in this part if you keep hitting the exact same button, which is inexcusable. We make a plan, we read the old diary, Tyler looks at the town across the lake and makes a comment about not wanting to live with assholes, and Tyler, please, shut the fuck up. You make Chloe Price look like a fucking saint. We head on out eventually. Allison needs to send someone a message, then this asshat named Sam comes in, gun out, ready to shoot trespassers. And God, I wish he just shot Tyler right then and there and set me free of this evil bastard shitlord. Sam realizes who Tyler is, comments on the wonders of modern medicine, and good God, why are we spending so much time on trying to educate these idiots on being trans and being sensitive to those issues? It's really not that complicated. And I know I said earlier that when I introduced the fact Tyler's trans, it would be the last time I personally mentioned it, and I wish it was because I'm already tired of saying it. Imagine if the Life is Strange games made a point in every scene to explicitly mention the protagonists being bisexual. It would drive me insane, because we get it! We fucking get it! At least Sam here is trying his best to understand and be a good person. He talks a bit about why we want to sell the house, Tyler's an asshole about it, we talk more, and God, I don't care, like, at all. We gotta kick the guy out of the house, and Jesus wept. Allie, being the voice of reason, talks to the guy, gets him out of the house, and oh my God, Tyler, shut the fuck up, you condescending prick. Anyways, get in the truck, pass a guy who's going to be Tyler's love interest for some reason, then pull up to the store and head on out into a section where we can play as Allison! Yippee! Except it's just us introducing Tyler to Michael, and I'm going to be honest, I don't like Michael all that much. He's smug in a way that I find annoying. Mikey here makes the mistake of mentioning fishing, and oh boy, if this game has a fishing minigame, I'm going to commit heinous acts of violence. Subtle foreshadowing. Anyways, go into the store, meet the shopkeep Tom, and he's weirdly normal, especially for this game. I talked to the people in the shop, mostly just Michael for fun, got the good we needed, and oh hey, Mom's old friend Tessa is here. She's weirdly defensive and avoidant, so we're gonna have to come back later and bother her. Except we remember shit. And oh good heavens, we get conflicting memories between the twins, and I'm gonna blow up.
Like rocket fuel.
This game made the mistake of referencing something much better, which was Tyler mentioning Rashomon, which is a very good and a very important film in film history, but fuck it. We get to pick which memory we want to side with, and the answer is to always side with the twin you aren't playing as in order to keep everyone happy and satisfied, even if I want nothing more than to never play as Tyler. Anyway, blah blah, Mom was angry and evil and mentally ill. We talked to Tessa again, gained nothing, and to be blunt, this is the worst mystery game I have ever had the misfortune of playing, but I am determined to get a video out of this dumpster fire of a game, and I'm gonna get a damn good video out of this. We talk to Tom, shopkeep, and he plays a song that triggers the rest of the memory we're looking for. We uncover exactly what you think we'd uncover, conversion therapy churches, and a lot of debt that Mom owed. We get the usual shit about conversion therapy being a bad thing that it obviously is, and we get the revelation that Mom wasn't actually transphobic, at least when talking to Tessa. And again, I'm going with Mom had BPD, and I'm wondering if Tyler actually remembers her trying to kill him, or if it's a story he made up to feel better about him murdering Mom. Anyways, leave the store, and we're off to find the cops that adopted Allison at the police station. In the station, we get all sorts of world-building stuff that does actually take advantage of the location, which is the only thing this game does better than Lost Records. Anyways, go try to talk to adopted dad, go get coffee, look at the interrogation room, shit ensues with Tyler not regretting his actions at all. Then we talk to Eddie. We talk to the boy about Mom, get no solid answers about anything, but it is what it is. Tyler's bullshit continues, and he's all pissed off about Eddie following procedure and all that. And oh my God, can we kill Tyler? Just two to the back of the head. Into the game early and set me free? No? Okay. Anyway, I get dragged into their argument as Allison, and God, I want to side with Eddie so bad. But no, I'm going to shut my brain off and side with that piece of shit Tyler. I cannot stand with this, but I'm going to keep this fuckwads together and well bonded no matter how much worse Tyler is than Chloe. Seriously, Tyler's the worst aspects of Chloe amped up by a factor of 15. Anyways, Allie plays the Peacekeeper, and after an ominous close-up on Tyler and a reverse shot showing a weird magic-looking hunter, we're off to get something to eat, then go home, and we cut to a flashback of that night with Tyler running from Mom and her gun, and we, the creature. This Hatman-looking motherfucker is maybe real, maybe not, I don't know. Anyway, we cut to Mom with a gun pointed at Tyler's head, only to find out that Allison stabbed Mother Dearest in the back with a pair of scissors. Mom falls into the water, and wowie, Tyler is trying so hard to be a fucking martyr in this scene, because he'll take all the blame. And you know what? I'm in a bad enough mood that I don't want to make the all apologies reference. Fuck you. This is what you get. We then get the credits and the fucked up evil stats screen, and we're off to chapter 2. As mentioned earlier, I'm not putting different story section headers in this time. This game doesn't deserve it. I started the game up, got a storybook recap of what happened in the previous episode, and honestly, if the whole game was done in this papercraft art style, it'd be a lot more bearable. We then cut back to the past for a frame of crying Allison in the rain, then we get an extended scene of the kids in the past eating ice cream with Mom, then cut to Mom reading them a story, then Mom disappears. We cut more forward, and it's murder night! Allie drinks some melted ice cream, hears her brother cry for help, grabs a pair of scissors, and we cut to Mom being stabbed and the breakdown. This is a lot of pointless cutscenes, but at least we're spending more time with Allie than Tyler, so I'll take what I can get. This is also her memory of what happened that night. We get a weird montage of the twins in the future and the past at the same damn time set to some generic dream pop music, and by the nines, I don't care. We punch in on a photo of Mom and Tessa for some reason, then cut right back to everything else before finally landing back in the future where we start the plot back up. Tyler is doing Tyler shit, being a dick, and we're gonna pack up furniture, determining what to keep, sell, all that shit. We then decide to keep some of the photos, keep doing the memory shit, use a moo box an unholy amount of times because funny, keep remembering shit, and honestly, Tyler is being a lot more normal and chill right now, so maybe I've been treating him a little too harshly. Probably not, because the moment the plot proper kicks back in, he's gonna go right back to being an asshole. Anyways, Tyler used to eat peanut butter with ranch, and that's so gross. I mean, I love ranch as much as the next Midwesterner, but ranch and peanut butter? Awful. So keep looking at shit from when we was children, including a drawing of the creature, who I'm absolutely calling it as a metaphor for Mom's BPD. Sam comes over to drop off some supplies, and even more than that, he's genuinely apologetic for the unintentionally transphobic shit he said yesterday. I cannot believe he's the best character here, second only to the creature. Set that aside, Tyler is unimpressed with the dumbass small-town Alaskan guy's apology, and oh my god, Tyler, just accept that he's trying his best. We're off to find a fuse box, fixing adventure, or some shit. I solved it on my second attempt, and now we can examine the barn. Sam looks at the spot where the rifle was. Allie goes to ask him what's wrong. He gets real sad and walks off. We then explore and uncover a new photograph of Mom and Eddie's mom. We hurt ourselves on the glass, a memory activates, and once more we're stuck with Tyler's when he's actually your memory is flawed and your father figure is actually a piece of shit. And now I'm super fucking annoyed at Game, because if you don't always appease Tyler and accept his memory as fact, you get penalized. So fuck me, I guess. Tyler's always right. Why is this miserable piece of shit always right? Why is his fucking doom and gloom always the answer you're supposed to pick? Anyhows, my game theory here is that Marianne was actually sad in this moment, but since the bitchwad son is always right, we don't get to see any supporting evidence for what probably actually happened. We cut to us in the car, and Tyler's being an absolute fucking bunt about how, wow, I can't believe your worthless piece of shit adopted dad would lie to you. Unlucky, Lamau. I'm glad I grew up in group homes and went through unimaginable trauma without any real paternal figures, but at least my non-existent dad never lied to me. And holy shit, Allison called him out on it. I'm so proud of her. Genuinely, call him out on being a total prick. We get a call, pull over, and we're on the phone talking to the realtor. Tell her we're not going to show the house yet. Tell Tyler the good news rather than us just leaving him stranded out here since he's dead weight and he's dragging us down. We talk, and I was mildly joking when I said what I just did, and oh my god, he's fucking tripling down on what he said. Then we have a flashback, and Tyler has switched up on us and he's now apologizing? I can't do this. I'm not strong enough to do this. This is breaking me. There are no words to accurately describe how fucking awful this game is. Get back in the car, head to the police station, and come up with a plan to get that information out of Eddie. We interact with Denise for a second, and I failed to realize that we're back playing as Tyler. I need your help, viewer. You have to kill me. Anyways, dick around the station for a bit until you get to talk to Eddie. We want to see our mom's case file, and he's like, hey, you can see that file in 3 days to a week after you file for access, and to be blunt, I'm okay with waiting, but these fuckwads aren't, and we're gonna break into the police station's file room while everyone else is here. Yeah, also all the cops are here. Tyler's got to cause a distraction by turning out the lights and then run outside for a smoke and run upstairs, snoop in Eddie's office, and uncover that he paid for Tyler to stay at that group home he loved so much. But he denied Allison getting into some art program or something. I don't fucking care. We break into the archives, and thankfully, Allie abandons Tyler in the archives, which I can guarantee you that it has cameras and they're gonna get busted immediately. We find the file, get the right one, and find nothing we didn't already know. However, we do uncover that Mother Dearest drowned to death out in the water that night and that the stab wound wasn't fatal. We do uncover that Eddie actually called CPS on Mom, and holy shit, bro was onto something, just a day too late to do anything about it. There's so many reports and documents, and I just don't care. We get all our info eventually and get busted. I need Eddie to fucking murder this piece of shit now. I do, however, agree to talk to Eddie in private, and we're gonna get some answers, and tragically not murdered. We learn more from Eddie, and to be blunt, I think he could've just done this to begin with, and we would've been fine. This conversation is going well until Tyler has to be Tyler about everything, and can we just put 2 bullets in the back of his head and call it a day? Just tell him to look at the rabbits and pull the trigger. Here, we get the amazing ludonarrative dissonance, where the player controlling Tyler to say, we can get to a point where we're family one day, directly contradicts everything Tyler says during the narrative, or when you're not in control. I'm gonna explode and die. Since I took the ring, Tyler puts it on and we get to go scot-free. Ugh, why is there more game? And as we leave, Tyler shows concern for Allison, only because he feels bad. I, for a single frame, thought he was about to have character growth. I was wrong, and stupid, and wrong to think this rat bastard could grow. We're fighting in the parking lot, we get memories, Allison gets in the car pissed off as all hell. And once more, we bend to every fucking demand Tyler has because we're going to confront Tessa again. I need death, and I need it now. Tessa is gone. We're not finding her. Talk to Michael. He doesn't know shit. Talk to Tom. He tells us nothing new. Go talk to Michael again. He makes us do work. Then he did know where Tessa was. The Michael date sequence before the real Mikey date sequence is dumb, and there's a poster reference to the original Life is Strange. They make a stupid comment on it, and I'm gonna commit homicide. You cannot reference a much better thing when your thing is abysmal dog shit. Do more flirting with Mikey. Try not to end it all when the video game character says chosen family. I did sacrifice my otherwise perfect relationship with Allie to be gay since I'm obligated to see the one KTG the game has to offer. Allie comes back just a little mad at us for taking so long. Then we're off to the cemetery, and this is the point where I started looping the Johnny Cash cover of Hurt, because to be honest, this game is me hurting myself today to see if I still feel. In the graveyard named Lakeview Cemetery, we get to talk to Michael because I hate myself, I guess. Then we're off to find Tessa, which means memories and visiting Mom and other random people, because fuck having a reasonable runtime, I need to want death more than ever. We find Mama, and guess what? We all go to hell. And we find Tessa. It's beatdown time, and Tessa reveals that on the topic of probably having a BPD type disorder, Mom had a thing for married men. Anyways, pointless shit ensues. I forgive Tessa because I'm gonna brute force making Tyler a good person by the end of this, or die trying. Preferably die trying. Anyways, talk to Allie, then let's get home and get this chapter over with. I can't live like this, man. This game fucking sucks. Go home, and what do you know? The barn's on fire! Tyler runs over to see what's going on. He gets hit by a guy that kind of looks like the Creature. Allison puts out the barn fire, and we can explore the burned interior to find a box under the barn. We open the box and discover that Daddy was pushing for Mama to get an abortion since he was married to another woman, and oh my god, this game needs to stop pushing as hard as it is. We are entering misery porn territory where we're just gonna see the safest ways we can ruin these characters' lives. Anyways, remember shit, realize that guy was the Creature. And at this point, if this game just turned into a near one-to-one recreation of the fourth part of Baraska, I'd take it. Anyway, we're getting schizo visions, and we're gonna look more at the memory on the dock, and we uncover the next big target in our mystery, Dad. Tyler, ever the asshole, keeps pushing, and Allison can't take it. She's done and she gives up. Tyler continues to be a total fucking bunt about how we're so close to solving the mystery, and the only way that this can end in a satisfying way is if Tyler dies. We get a flashback to the memory Mom didn't want us to see. Daddy getting threatened, and us realizing that we probably killed Mom for nothing since she was having a manic episode or maybe a schizo delusion. I don't know. But that's the episode. One more to go, and I want to die. Anyways, I'm done for the day. I can't wait to finish this game and uninstall it to hell and back and get this video edited and done. This might be the worst game I've ever played. Even worse than Before the Storm. We might actually be breaking new ground and finding a new low. Whatever. Fuck this. I'm going to bed. I'll see you tomorrow.
Check it out!
It's now the next day, and we get a storybook recap again, and we're approaching the end. The siblings are separated again since Tyler pushes everything way too far and always ruins everything because Tyler is a bastard. We come back to the present, and Allison is in bed having a weird dream delusion with Mom. She wakes up in the middle of a lake. Evil Mom is throwing paper at her. It's all images of the Creature, and it's all saying that you killed your mom. Allie wakes up, hits the floor, and nope, we're in another dream following Mom, who's dressed like the main character of Little Nightmares, or like a knockoff version of the killer in I Know What You Did Last Summer, whichever you'd prefer. We keep going down this fuck-ass nightmare sequence, and to be blunt, it's stupid. Turns out it wasn't Mom, it was Allison the whole time! But no, it wasn't? Or was it? I don't know or care. Then she turns, comes face to face with Tyler, who goes, "You killed me!" And I wish we did. I want bad things to happen to this character. We start up a record and see the rest of Delos Crossing, and holy fuck, why didn't we get to spend more time in this town? This place almost makes it feel like Alaska is a place you'd want to live. Anyways, Allie is back in her real adopted bedroom, and this game is stupid. She reads a note from Eddie, and oh my god, can we abandon Tyler? Are we finally cutting the dead weight loose and rising? This is so exciting. Anyways, go downstairs, look at a shelf, and Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing in this game? Anyways, Allie is torturing herself, but I choose to believe that this is Tyler using the telepathic link in their brains to guilt trip and bully Allie into coming back, but I'm so motivated to abandon Tyler and uninstall this game that I don't care if I miss things. This is a fucking miserable game. Anyhow, some shit ensues and now we're getting a memory in the basement, and it's the forced ghost illusion of Mom telling us to get out of our depression pit and back into the divine light of God. Okay, she didn't exactly say it like that, but fuck you, I need every bit of joy I can get while I work on this. Regardless, we make a quick gift for Denise since we're gonna get some lunch together, then we're off to finish assembling our renter application and get dressed. Except Tom and Michael drop by to give us some cake since we aren't feeling good, or we weren't feeling good last night and called off sick today. Michael rudely invites himself in. We talk to Tom about me and Tyler having a fight, and then we're talking about what happened at the cemetery, Tyler being a miserable, unforgiving bunt, and how Allie is always stuck taking all the blame. Then we're back inside talking to Michael, and oh my god, this is fucking pointless. Like, we already know that Allison is nervous about moving to Juneau and all that. We tell Mikey that we had a fight with Tyler, and to be blunt, Mikey's opinion means nothing to me since he's all in on wanting to get with the miserable fuck. Mikey shows us a place that might be pretty good. The ghost of Mom blames us for abandoning home. And you know, I'm getting the funny feeling that we're gonna have to abandon Tyler to have him live in the old house, going insane trying to solve the mysteries of what happened, and Allie is gonna go off to do real things. Anyways, Allie is freaking the fuck out, and holy shit, we're getting a Tyler-free choice that's like a normal choice in a strange game. Do you tell Mikey about the memories or not? I tell him everything since he's here, and he's here to help us calm down, and it's nice, except he flashbangs me with, you know what happened to me in 2011, while talking about how therapy helped him. And I know this is something Allie as a character would know, but the audience doesn't know what he's talking about, and I'm gonna implode. She calms down and she's all, I gotta go out to the house, but Tyler's crashing out there and I don't want to see him. This is funny only to me because I read it as Tyler's crashing out there at the house, like he's just going postal, and I like my interpretation a lot more than he's just sleeping out there. Mikey is like, maybe I could go out there and see where he's at, and I tell him to go do that, which results in us getting a relationship up with Tyler, so that's cool, I guess. Allie goes to finally do what she set out to do and rush on out to lunch with Denise. We head over to the station to go see our friend, drop off our application stuff, and wait around for a long while only to get absolutely cucked by a raccoon and our lunch plans get canceled. We start having a panic attack, try to mentally talk to Tyler, he ignores you, do a breathing exercise, get a memory of the twins as young kids, then adopted dad comes out and they talk things through. I tell him I killed Mom, that I was the one who stabbed her, and I guess it feels good to finally get all that off your chest. Now Eddie's having a crisis, except he understands and helps us through it. We eventually are calmed down enough to ask if Sam was actually our dad, and while Eddie tells us that he didn't find any evidence of Sam being our dad, I doubt he did any DNA testing. We are off to find Sam. We're at the shipyard. We find Sam, try talking about this idea, being unable to do so, help him fix a boat engine, and then just point blank ask him if he's our dad. He says he ain't. I talk to him more, and I'm inclined to believe that he isn't our dad. Allie talks about how she wants to hate her mom so bad, but she doesn't know anything about her. Sam takes us upstairs and he's got something he wants to show us. It's a box of stuff he kept from Mom. We talk about the memories, then it turns out the barn has a loft we didn't know about. Allie was so right when she said that Sam's been drinking. He is trying to break our heart. No, really, he tells us a story of how Mom helped him during a period of depression when he broke his leg. It's a touching scene, but he falls asleep and the city keeps blinking and whatever. I can't keep referencing better things. By the way, unrelated to this part isn't in the script. Just go listen to Yankee Hotel Foxtrot by Wilco. That's such an amazing album. Legitimately one of my favorites. Anyway, back to the actual plot here. We leave Sam to his drunken slumber and head on out to Tyler. Tyler's on the dock. Michael comes, gets Tyler to sit down, and we talk things through. And by talk, I mean we're gonna start fishing. We chat, and fish, and I'm gonna fish the whole damn lake. I am annoyed that this game has a fishing minigame. You're trying too hard to be something you're not. Anyways, flirt with Mikey since it's all this game has left to ruin, catch fish, and I'm gonna get a fuck ton of fish. As we talk, I say the right things to fix the twins' relationship, and all should be well undeservingly. I need this ice to crack and Tyler to fall in. Like, hit the bastard with the scary Carrie treatment from Spire in the Woods. I need this to happen because Tyler is all in on everything's Allie's fault, except for the player being able to interject and make Tyler learn things. I'm not gonna say he's growing as a character. This man cannot grow or change at all, but they're trying to make this work. Catch the third fish, and wouldn't you know it, I've done it. I got an achievement for catching all the fish, because I'm just so cool like that. We start flirting hard, these two are so weirdly made for each other. I make a move, Mikey reciprocates, they lean in, they kiss, and you know what? It's a fine scene. I think it's the best this game could have did. It's a payoff for Tyler finally feeling comfortable enough to be gay and shit, and good for him. I can't believe I'm saying a good thing about this game. So to counteract that, I'm gonna say that this moment is cliched as all hell and doesn't hold the same weight it would have held in like 2015. YouTube would have loved this game if it came out in 2015, but thankfully in 2015 we got the good Don't Nod game, which was Life is Strange. Anyhows, we cut to Allie on the steps of the house having a think. The two come up, Mikey leaves, and the twins finally talk. And I just realized my screenshots weren't actually taking properly, so now I have to replay that section to get a picture of the KTG. God fucking damn it. Even worse, you can't skip past lines of dialogue that aren't a cutscene. Anyway, after that little diversion, Allie is on the steps having a think, the guys come up, Mikey leaves, and the twins talk. Against all odds, Tyler manages to apologize and even acknowledges that he was being an asshole. He won't learn a damn thing from this, but it's a start, I guess. Allie shows Ty the photo she swiped off of the thing in the barn that may or may not be getting better at mimicking people. Sorry, that's the thing in the basement. There's nothing in the loft. She tells him about the loft and we're off to investigate. Head on up and discover it was decorated like it was meant for the twins, and there's a chest up here and stuff. So we're gonna open that motherfucker after solving a bunch of puzzles that feel like Mom knew she was gonna die soon. But also, guess what, bitch? Mom had a kid before the twins or something, and blah, 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 mom lore and puzzles. Turns out Mom's baby died, and now we're understand a lot more about Mom. And it turns out Mom wasn't transphobic at all. She accepted Tyler as a boy. And I'm shocked that it turns out that they actually murdered Mom in cold blood. On the docks, we recall the memory, and the man that is our dad is fucking Tom? Why? Where the fuck did this revelation come from? Whatever, who fucking cares? It's time to confront Tommy Boy here. He's trying to say he did nothing wrong, but also he'll do whatever we want as long as none of this ever gets out. He talks about how he loved their mom, and when the twins are all in on we're gonna tell everyone, apparently this activated Tom's trap card, because he knows the truth. Mom was talking about this being all Tom's fault, her loading up the gun, Mom running towards the boy, all the shit we knew. Then it turns out Mom wasn't gonna kill Tyler at all. Allie just fucking ran and stabbed her because she saw the gun and Tyler on his knees, and they just murdered her in cold blood. Tyler is pissed off, goes to attack, doesn't. Then Tom talks some shit about how this will ruin Allison's life if it gets out, and Tyler says that we gotta think this over, and it's up to us to figure out who was right, and we're gonna say fuck it and go with Tom's memory, because it just makes sense. Also, fuck Tyler's speech in this moment. Bro really thinks he can get away with doing a Scott Pilgrim-ass you have to stop running from the past shit. Believe Tom that we killed Mom in cold blood, and more importantly, Mom was gonna pull a Cobain. Tyler interrupted her, then we come to terms with the fact that we murdered Mom. We cut to us in the house, Allie looks so tired and done with life. Tyler pours us a drink, it's not gonna help us. And whatever, just let the game end. This game is essentially over at this point. Allie is thinking, I'm thinking we would have been better off if we never uncovered all of this. And you know what? She's right. Force Ghost Mom appears, basically tells them from or tells them her spirit can now rest. They hug. We flash forward to 6 months later. Tyler Dunn went bald, trying his best to look like Jesse at the end of Breaking Bad. We're packing up and closing the house as Tyler, and god damn it, I don't want to be Tyler. Anyhow, Tessa divorced Tom, Allie is in therapy, and all is well. I tried to look at a photo on the ground, got glitched, and had to reload this epilogue segment, and god damn it, I do not want this. Anyways, take pics of the house, send them to Allie, then finally lock the doors and move the fuck on. But also, Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing in my car? We lock up the house and we're off to Juneau, and the game is finally over. Thank Christ it's over. We end the game with Tyler leaving a voicemail for his old buddy from the group home, and I don't care. We can leave the house, fade to black, and the game is finally fucking over. The last image we get in this game is the fucking US suicide hotline number, and the joke writes itself. Holy fuck, the joke writes itself. This was without a doubt the worst fucking game I've ever played. And once again, I'll start writing about this again tomorrow because I'm done. It's over. So, now that we've endured the horrors of this game, let's get into the review stuff, because whoo boy, I have so much to tell you. I need an answer to the following question that's currently eating away at my insides, which is, why are all of these characters awful in one way or another? Seriously, pretty much every single character of consequence here is awful, with exception to Michael because he does nothing of substance to this entire narrative. We're gonna set aside the Tyler in the room because I'm giving him his own section later, so we'll cover everything else starting with Allison. Allison was in the running for being the most normal character in the game until she wasn't. The problem is she just endlessly bends to Tyler's will at every possible turn. And I know that's just how I played the game, but the fact that the game is designed in a way where to get the best outcome you have to bend to all of Tyler's whims is abysmal. It takes a lot of agency away from Allie, and to be blunt, this game could have just been like Life is Strange 2 and only had you play a single person, and regardless of which person you play, it's still a problem given this being the narrative is what it is. Wow, that's a fucked up sentence. Anyway, Allison is the more compelling character because she's exponentially more likable than her brother, and she is just a good person with a lot of issues. It's a shame we don't get to spend more time playing as her, and when we do get to play as her, there's the issue of Tyler. And then there's the issue of Chapter 3's realistic depiction of a panic attack. I think the panic attack scenes were fucking stupid and added nothing to the narrative, and predominantly it highlights the major issue that the writers didn't know what to do with her since they only cared about Tyler. But from what we get of her, I like her. She's perhaps the most mid-tier Strange-type protagonist, and if she's getting a rating, she's under Sean, which means she's in a respectable 5th place. I say respectable because there's only 7, technically 8 if you count Original Max and Double Exposure Max as separate characters, and positions 6 and 7 are in a hell of their own creation. Moving right along, there really isn't anyone to talk about that matters or wouldn't devolve into me saying the same damn thing. The biggest problem with this game is that no character is really utilized to their fullest potential on all fronts. Although the most acceptably used character has to be Michael. He was used as much as he was needed, and for the sake of what the game was trying to do, and that's about it. I don't like him, but I don't dislike him, you know? He's the most painfully normal love interest in any Strange-type game, and that's a little sad, and to be honest, it's boring. Even the worst Strange-type games know the importance of having a good KTG, and this one has the most normal-ass version of this scene in a way that isn't at all compelling. But that's all I can say for now, since I'm going to do a dedicated section with more on this point later. Sam was a good guy as much as they set him up to be an asshole. He had his heart in the right place, and as much as Tyler despises him for not understanding what being trans was and what the appropriate language is to use when discussing this kind of stuff, Sam took the onus and legitimately did some research. He even sincerely apologizes for being offensive to Tyler, and yet Tyler is still pissed about it. I get being pissed about the shotgun incident, but he forgets about the shotgun and just immediately chooses to stay pissed about him being unintentionally transphobic. But Tyler's opinions are invalid and to be disregarded because he's nothing more than an obnoxious prick. And sure, he may have been right when he said that Sam's been drinking, but look, Sammy Boy here is one of the more compelling characters in this dumpster fire. He's the typical divorced alcoholic man, no kids, no money, no bitches, nothing. But god damn it, he's still got a heart in there somewhere. Tessa was here, I guess. And I think it's interesting that Tyler is quicker to forgive her than Sam, especially because she's the one who actively tried to send his ass to a conversion camp. But, fuck it. Nobody who made this game cared. I didn't care. And to be blunt, you don't care. The same can be said for the second to last character of note, Eddie. Eddie was here, I guess? He was relevant enough to the plot, but in a very niche way that felt underbaked, like literally everything in this game is. They bring him up like he's super important, but no the fuck he isn't. He gets exactly 3 scenes, and even then, he's doing nothing of substance. But I suppose you could say that about the entire narrative too. It's got nothing of substance. I guess the last character I have to talk about here is Tom, and oh dear god, what the hell were they thinking? I don't want to metagame or make baseless accusations, but I think the team ran out of time trying to make this game, and so it feels like an unfinished first draft. Obviously they wanted the twist of Mom wasn't crazy and that we killed her on accident, but introducing that deadbeat daddy was actually the local store owner running for mayor is as stupid as that sentence sounds. The twist comes from nowhere, and there was never any indication that you should think Tommy Boy was your dad. And to make this kind of thing satisfying, there has to be details in the world that hint to this being possible. But we didn't have time to do this since fuck it. He's your dad now. Cry about it. Even before the storm, at least tried to set up that Rachel's dad is a lying bastard, so we can get the twist that the woman we thought he was cheating with was actually Rachel's mom. That was, at the bare minimum, something established within the confines of the narrative that made some kind of sense when they subvert your expectations later on. This game subverted my expectations by it not knowing what the hell it was doing. There was no reason or even any indication that Tom was going to do this, or that the game wanted to do this. It's so frustrating trying to talk about this game because none of the characters matter, and none of this was thought out by the narrative. See, this is how little I actually have to say about the characters. Speaking of having nothing to say, the music. Tell me why there was barely any music in this game, and when there was, it was completely forgettable? Seriously, I feel like I complain about this in pretty much every strange type game review I do, but at least in every other game, I can name at least one song, excluding Before the Storm. There were scenes with music in this game, but to be frank, it didn't do anything, and I've covered wars, I guess I have to do what I'd always do, which is recommend some music to play instead of what they did play, and honestly, I don't know if I can fix this mess. The only idea I have is that given how thrifty Marianne was, you could justify all the records in the house, and by proxy all the music, needing to be old thrifted records, so you can fill the soundtrack with the Beatles and you wouldn't notice a difference, except for the music being somehow even more shit. No, but you could totally replace the music with the usual thrift store grails and unusual indie hits or something like that. Hell, you could go the entire opposite direction, replace the entire soundtrack with just the song Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit, and it would be an improvement, and I fucking hate Limp Bizkit. The point is, this game's soundtrack is yet another thing beyond salvation, just like the narrative and the characters, so let's just move on and talk about the biggest problem this game has.
It's just one of those days. It's all about the he says, she says bullshit. I think you better quit letting shit slip, or you'll be leaving with a fat lip. It's all about the he says, she says bullshit. I think you better quit talking that shit.
Tyler is the worst character in any Strange type game ever. He's worse than every racist in Life is Strange 2. He's worse than Finn. He's worse than Danny Boy. And dear God, he's even worse than Chloe by a fucking mile. Tyler is an intolerable asshole who doesn't think of anybody but himself, takes pleasure in his sister's misery, is a prick to absolutely everyone he meets, and more than that, he's just so unpleasant to be around. Seriously, at every turn, Tyler is the most insufferable jerk possible, and I don't get it. I don't understand why this script made it past the editing phase, and let alone made it to the final voice actor, and made it into the final product. It's such a wondrous concept that someone in the production team of this game said, let's make Tyler absolutely fucking insufferable, and no one stopped them. But set that aside. Let's examine Tyler's crimes as a character first, so that just really make him so awful. First off, Tyler is consistently and constantly ungrateful and unappreciative of anything people do for him. Allie offering Tyler the ring that matches the one she was given by her adoptive dad is a sign of goodwill, and is a significant gift to said adopted dad's indigenous culture. And what is Tyler's immediate response? Get absolutely pissy about it and start ranting about how this does nothing and means nothing. Tyler is weirdly insensitive in this moment, and for someone whose very identity is under constant scrutiny, you'd think he'd be a little more sensitive to minority groups and their issues. Tyler's emotions change on a dime in a way that puts Rachel and Chloe to shame. Seriously, Tyler on the boat talks about how much he wants to get out of this town and never come back. Meanwhile, he gets to the house and it just immediately switches up talking about, oh, do we really have to sell the house immediately? Think of all the memories. In a move that comes out of, you guessed it, nowhere. There is no consistent logic to Tyler's behavior, only being a selfish prick and disregarding anyone else's needs and wants. The part in episode 2 where is justifiably pissed about siding with Tyler's memory of her adopted dad doing something wrong, and Tyler's actively gloating about it, says a lot. He's so happy that his sister is absolutely miserable that he can barely contain it, if only because he feels that this memory justifies his hatred of this man who really did nothing wrong. And again, Tyler is so insanely bigoted that he only looks and accepts things that reaffirm his worldview. But set all of that aside for a moment, and let's just look at the basic facts of the character. Tyler isn't pleasant to be around. His emotions change on a dime, and he's just a total dick at every given moment. He is horrifically inconsistent, is a character that feels out of place because of the way the narrative treats his gay. The narrative treats Tyler being gay like it's this grandiose and highly important first in gaming, but the original Life is Strange was already out. And that, while definitely not the first game to have gay, did this exponentially better by not drawing attention to it because it felt a lot more natural and realistic. I'm not saying that the kind of scene talking about these things the way this game does during the fishing scene doesn't happen or have a place. I'm just saying it feels incredibly out of place in a post-LIS world, especially when this is the studio that did the original Life is Strange. That shit broke new ground and did it all incredibly well, in a way that makes this game feel antiquated and like it should have come first. That said, if this game came first, I don't think it would have gone well for anyone, especially because of Tyler. Yes, I know I'm supposed to be talking about Tyler right now. I just need to get that part out of my system and set up a decent segue into the next part of this dumpster fire. Here's a question that's been bugging me for a hot minute now. Why is there only one love interest in this game, despite there being 2 playable characters? I won't lie and say that Michael is a bad love interest. Don't get me wrong, he's a perfectly average guy, but I hate how generic he is. Not nearly as much as I hate that he's the only love interest in this game. Seriously, ignoring how weird it is for Allison to get completely shafted in the romance department, a point I will circle back to, these games always give you at least 2 love interests to pick from, so you can have a variety of options and pick the one that appeals more to your sensibilities as the player. Why is this game the exception to the rule? Did Dontnod forget how to do their own formula? I have nothing against Michael, but God, I just wanted to have another character to compare him against so I could maybe get a better sense of Tyler as a character by sensing what the other archetype of man he's drawn to is. Or even
I miss you.
just to have more to talk about like the other strange types. Seriously, it's baffling for me to talk about a strange type and only have one love interest to talk about, especially when the one we get is so painfully generic and first draft like this whole game is. Anyways, let's get to the other part of this. And it's where the fuck is Allie's love interest for the game? I know she doesn't have to have one. I know it's not a requirement for a character, but being a playable character in a strange type game requires you to have at least 2 options. And since this game has 2 playable characters, we are 3 love interests short of the quota here. But since I can't invent any characters that could possibly save this mess, I have to judge Michael against the long line of those who came before him and after, and I have to put him just dead center of the list because he is the new metric of which I judge every other love interest against because of how generic he is. That's it. That's the section. I hope you're happy. Just compare this segment to like any of the other sections I've done in previous strange type games. That's the difference. That's how little there is here. That's how bad this game is. We have fundamentally missing pieces. God, why the fuck are we doing this? This game is awful. Who made this? This is the section I was the most excited for. The segment where I get to talk about one of my favorite reviews I've ever read. Now, I'm going to be reading this public review in full. The only problem is I don't have the name of the original author, and I am sorry for that. Now, this is one of the best reviews I've ever read because I'm not entirely sure what this person was getting at, but they were cooking. This review is entitled The Alaskan Triangle, Ellipses. Tell me why. No one went missing in this game when thousands have just vanished without a trace, or no Bigfoot sightings or footprints, or no one saw UFOs or strange lights. You're in Alaska, the land of the lost. The strange in crab fishing, so get into your crab fishing ship and go all around Alaska to find out what was really going on, then tell me why, ellipses. But just go missing in Alaska. I don't really know how to unpack this review other than I think it's really funny and it encapsulates the feeling that this game is really hard to talk about and not just decay into stupid sentences. But it does raise the question about, does this game sufficiently use the location to its advantage? And the answer is yes and no. On the one hand, this does feel like Alaska, where there's just these small fishing villages or small isolated towns of people with populations of like 100. But on the other hand, where's the crab fishing, Mansley? I mean, yes, this is a stupid point that doesn't matter, but it amuses me so it gets a pass. The actual reason I'm hesitant to say this does anything right with the setting is that this game really does nothing right because of the pacing and how we, despite spending so much of the runtime in exactly 3 locations, don't stay anywhere long enough to get a real sense of anything. And if it feels well done. Unlike Lost Records, though, this does at least feel like it had to be set in Alaska, where Lost Records could be set in fuck-ass Nebraska and nothing would have changed. This game had to be set in Alaska, like the characters reference real Alaskan cities, and it looks aesthetically like an Alaskan winter should, so this game sure did one thing better than Lost Records, I guess. I hope you're happy, Dontnod. This game is so bad I have to say the YouTuber cliche and say that this game broke me. This game was genuinely a slog to play, and I was going insane the whole time. It was just a total disaster from start to finish, and it left me feeling like I should have just given up halfway through and just made this essay end abruptly and not get into the whole of it. I could have, and it would have been a better use of my time. However, I did my due diligence and I saw this through to the end, and what I want you to take away about this game is this. This game is so bad that in spite of getting the game for free, I want my money back, and this game is so bad that it isn't even worth playing for free. I, a while removed from playing this, still have no fucking words to convey how baffled and miserable this thing made me. Now, I suppose we have one more question left to answer. Is this game worse than Before the Storm? Yes it is, by a fucking mile. I can at least have fun playing and bitching about that game, but this, I need this game to not exist. I cannot deal with how poorly made and abysmal this game is, which is why I am proud to announce that my final rating for this game is that it gets no rating. That's right, for the second time in Glazed Ham history, I am refusing to give a rating to something. It's just that fucking abysmal and poorly made, but more than that, it's just miserable. This isn't a fun bad game. This isn't even a bad game. Hell, this isn't even a game. This is an actual war crime against the art of video games. And with that, my name is A Leg of Glazed Ham, and thank you for sticking by and watching my descent into hell. It really means a lot. I'm glad to be back from the long summer hiatus, and stick around because I've got all sorts of fun things coming soon for you to see. Thanks again, and good night!